Chicago Playwrights, produced by the CLYDE FITCH Report in association with Chicago Dramatists. My name is Sean Douglas, and we're directed by Willett, and today our guest is Jason Paul Smith. Jason Paul Smith is not a resident playwright with Chicago Dramatists, but he is directing the holiday stories at 3 Cat Productions, that features a whole slew of Chicago Dramatists-related playwrights. So he's here to tell us a little bit about how those stories came to be, what they're about, and what 3 Cat Productions does. Great, well thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Tell us about 3 Cat Productions.
Well, 3 Cat Production, we call ourselves Chicago's Artist Incubator. So the whole mission of the organization is to give opportunities for artists of all types, specifically playwrights, but we also provide opportunities for directors and actors and designers, as well as storytellers, composers, performance artists. So we have several programs that we have running sort of consistently to allow to create more opportunities for artists. So we started with a thing called the Chicago New Work Festival, where every year playwrights from the Chicago area submit their play, and if they are selected, they get a week-long workshop of their play with a director and a cast, and then that culminates in a performance on that Saturday. And then that really led to another program that we have called the Next Draft Series, which 2 years ago I realized that I could, because we're at Burker Park, I could basically not turn away any playwright. So I took all of the other submissions that weren't selected for the New Work Festival and gave them a spot in the Next Draft Series, which is they meet on Saturday for 4 hours with a cast and a director. They read the play, they talk about the goal, and then that Monday the playwright gets to hear their play in front of a live audience. All 3 Cat does is New Work. And so our hope was to use these opportunities to help get playwrights a chance to see a fully produced play. You really don't learn who you are as a playwright until someone produces your work. No. And every playwright that we've given a production has said, wow, you just changed the way I write. So we've done all sorts of different plays. The current play that's going up this Friday, November 6th, is called Death in a Beulah Box, and it's about African American LGBT people in a South Side hair shop. And they really wrestle with issues that are specifically to the African American LGBT community. And I was so excited when I read the play because I'd never seen a play about this topic before that's set in here in Chicago. The next show, Holiday Stories, which opens on December 3rd, I think, I realized was an opportunity to give more playwrights a chance to see their work produced. And so
And playwrights at every level, too.
At every level.
Like we have resident playwright Susan Lieberman and Chicago
Absolutely.
Dramatists represented with the network playwrights and
Absolutely.
earlier on in their careers, and they can all get presented together.
Together, yep. And it really is one show. So they are each writing a chapter of the entire evening. And what I realize is that a lot of playwrights, even playwrights who are really well established, it is still difficult for those playwrights to get their work produced. Unless you are a company member of a theater company, or your friend owns a theater company, or your next play is so hot that everyone is producing your work, it is so challenging to get a production. And so what I did with Holiday Stories is I sent out an email to all of the playwrights who had either participated in the Chicago New Works Festival or the Next Draft Series and said, hey, we're doing a holiday show. We can pick 8 to 9 plays, submit an idea for an 8-minute play, and then I'll get back to you. And it's been really great because what it allows a playwright to do is not just see a work produced, because some of these playwrights have had a 10-minute play produced, over a 2-weekend period. But they get a 6-week rehearsal process. They get a 4 to 5. This is a 5-week run of their show, and you learn so much, from what happens from the first read through to tech, through to opening night, and then all the way to the end of that run. What do actors do with your words? And it's such an invaluable experience, and it's a fun show.
So how does this holiday show differ from the other holiday shows that are going on around the same time of year?
So I came up with the idea of Holiday Stories, the concept, which is called The Other Side of Christmas. After my father passed away, and I was on the Jeff committee, and I was seeing all of these holiday shows, and I was miserable. They're either, how great my family is, or all of these really sappy, schmaltzy holiday shows, which I love, But I was like, if you are not a heterosexual couple with 4 children, Christmas takes on a completely different tone. And what if you're not Christian? What if you're an atheist? What if you're Jewish? What if you have to work at Christmas? And so I really put that out there and I said, what are these other stories that we're not telling? And so it's exciting because I think no matter who you are, you see yourself in some story.
Yeah.
One of our playwrights wrote a play called My First Christmas Tree, Susan Lieberman's play, and it's about, she's Jewish and she really wants a Christmas tree and she's in California. And it's a lovely, lovely piece. We have one about a suicide hotline called Lifeline by David Bald. There are people who work those phone numbers during the holidays. And I think for a lot of people, the holidays can be a really depressing time. If you don't have a big family or you're not going to go home for Christmas, and you celebrate it, it can be a really lonely time. And so we wanted to try to create a piece that everyone could feel like they were a part of. And we work with our resident musical director, Roy Freeman, and we wanted to create, we can't do a holiday show without Christmas music. I just think, what is the point?
Mm-hmm.
And so we used public domain Christmas music, Christmas carols, and then some of them we've turned it on its axis, like our cast sings Jingle Bells in Yiddish. So we tried to mix it up a little bit, but we wanted to feel like the holiday show that you would go to see, but then really spin it so that it feels different and unique and fun.
And does this just cater to a Chicago audience? How far-ranging can submissions be to your new play festivals?
For right now, it is Chicago-based playwrights only,
Okay.
and there are sort of 2 reasons for that. One, I think that when we started, there are a lot more play festivals now than there were 4 years ago when I created the idea for the Chicago New Work Festival. But it is was significantly difficult for Chicago Playwrights to get a reading. Chicago Dramatists is a wonderful program, and they service as many playwrights as they can. But there are, 500 playwrights in the city, and they can't be the only venue.
Mm-hmm.
And so we really tried to create a sort of companion festival and a lot of Chicago Dramatist playwrights are a part of it. They're wonderful, and we opened it up to anyone in the Chicagoland area. Eventually, we would like to add a sort of additional festival on a more national level, but we already get 60 to 100 play submissions a year. If I opened it up to on a national level, I would be getting thousands, and it is right now just me doing all of the administrative work, and we would implode.
Yeah.
But eventually, that is the goal.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm looking forward to Holiday Stories at 3 Cat Productions.
Thank you so much.
This has been Chicago Playwrights. Come see Holiday Stories.